Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2 of this series. So we're going to start working on this logo and I'm going to just go over the main parts. So this is a group of 8 objects on one layer. We're going to go up to Arrange, Ungroup. Now this object is a little less than 2 inches tall, so we're going to set our nudge factor on 3. We're going to grab part of it and we're going to move it down. And that's pretty good. We're going to grab this green and we're going to move it down. We're going to grab the yellow, we're going to move it down. So everything else so far is really good. We're going to select all this and we're going to want it black anyway, so I'm going to left click and make everything black just so you can kind of see what it looks like. This looks pretty good, but let's see what it looks like, what all it entails. So it's got the hood. Let's back up here. Let's move it to the left. It's got the hood and all this other stuff that we're going to kind of redraw because it's the only thing that it didn't trace good, and that would actually work. But we're going to take this and we're going to ungroup that group. And now I'm going to select all that group and I'm going to move over to the left and down. Now we need these parts of the wheels, and they're part of this whole group. So let's go to Arrange and Ungroup. Let's grab the 2 wheels. Let's turn them black and go down. Now this engine compartment, just see what it looks like, we'll move over to the left. It's pretty much a solid piece. So we'll turn it black and we'll move it down. Now the airplane propeller has a bunch of garbage around it. So let's move it out of the way and look at all that garbage, and we can just hit delete. We can move it back, turn it black with left click. It's still got some garbage, but that can very easily be cleaned up. And that I might even make another video on that part. But the main part of the video today is right here. I'm going to just say we don't need that. Well, you kind of need that part. So let's go Control Shift and grab all that, turn it black, and now let's move it over and down. So now we all have left is evidently it's this spray. In the next couple of videos I'll show you how to make this a little bit better. These spray arms, these will be very easily drawn. Instead of trying to fix that, just take your 2-point line and go from there to, okay, before we even start, let's do this. I'm going to group these 2 guys together, and I'm also going to put something in the way, so when I group it together and ungroup it later, or move it, so I'm going to group all those together. So now all 3 of these things are grouped together. Let's take our line and just go from that node to that node. We're going to take that line and make it a thicker line, and here something is pretty important. Let's just see what it looks like first. That's way too thick. It's always hard to tell when you're working with something. That's a little bit too thick steel. That's 0.2. Let's go with 0.1. Okay, this is what's important. Let's grab that line again. And you need to check this right here, scale with object. Because if you don't do that and then you make the thing bigger or smaller, the line's going to get thicker or thinner out of your control. Now just take these other parts, and we're not exactly on it. So let's move it up a little bit. Let's take a 2-point line and just draw a line. Make it the same thickness or a hair under that, but make it red or make it black, and that's too thick. So make it black and scale with object. Okay, that looks good. We're going to Control D and we're just going to move it over to that spot. That didn't work. Control D, and move it over to that spot. I'm having a little computer problem this morning or this afternoon. I must have hit the wrong key. All right, let's go back. Sorry about that. Control D and move it over. There we go. Put it in about the same spot. Now when you Control D again, it'll put it kind of in the same spot. Now we're going downhill, but don't worry about it. And I'm off the screen. I can't see how much further we're going. Okay. Let's take our line and just move it up for a second. Let's grab all these dash lines and group them together. Control G or group. Double click on it and get your rotation and put your rotation on the end. And let's just move it up to that line. That looks pretty good. Now let's get our original line that's way up here and move it back down. Now we're in the same, we're a little bit different, but it's not terrible. So what we need to do is make our one line a little bit longer. Grab our shake tool and just bring it out to here. Now these lines are more at an angle, but you could correct that. Now we're going to group all this. Control G, Control D, and make a duplicate of it and mirror it. So now we have that other wing. And remember when I made this box? This is why I made this box. Now I can get that garbage out of the way. You know, this is the stuff we don't need. Control G to group this together. Move over one arrow key and down one arrow key. And voila. That looks pretty good. You could clean it up a little bit, maybe shorten that a little bit, but you get the idea. Anyway, stay tuned to the next video and we're going to get in more a little into depth. Hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.